Okay, so for this video, we're going to create an app that tries to do a safety check. And the safety check is based on numerical information. So in the under the radar story, what happened was both that the plane tilted at an unsafe angle, more than 20 degrees, and also it had too much weight, more than about 17,000 pounds. So we're going to create an app that lets us input these values and get a warning as to whether or not it's safe for the plane to be in operation. So we're going to call this safety check. And what we're going to use are two sliders. So let's go ahead and put the sliders on the app. And something that can be beneficial here is to think about not just having the sliders in place, but having a way to display the value that the slider currently has. So to that end, we will use some labels, like so. Okay, so as they slide, the label values will update, and then based on the combination of values, we'll color it green if it's safe and red if it's not safe. So let's go ahead and change the names of our components to make them understandable. So we're going to call this the angle label, and this we're going to call the angle slider, like so. And then down here, we will have the weight label. And then down here, we will have the weight slider, like so. Okay, so let's go to the blocks and see about creating this. So when we set this up, what we're concerned with is when the value on either of these sliders changes, we need to see what the impact is on the safety. Something else that's important, though, is to set the minimum and maximum values for the slider in an appropriate way. So starting with the angle slider, we will say something like the minimum value would be 10, and 90 degrees being effectively a maximum angle for how much a plane is tipping. We will say that the maximum value is 90, like so. Now what about the weight slider? So if we go back into the story to read about the situation with the weight, and you might even hear me paging through it right now on your microphone. Okay, I know that weight was in here somewhere. The baseline is the weight of the plane itself, and so what really makes things unsafe is adding weight to it. So if you look at page 162, it says the aircraft's operating weight was 10,673 pounds, and then on top of that, you add passenger weight, weight for the cargo, weight for the fuel, and it kind of maxes out around 17,000. So once you hit 17,000, you're in a bad zone. So if we use what the book said and just kind of round off a little bit, we'll say that the least amount of weight is actually 10,000 pounds, because otherwise you're taking engines and wings off the plane, and that really doesn't get you anywhere. And let's imagine that the space on board the plane ultimately lets you crowd 20,000 pounds worth of material. Okay, so coming back to the blocks, what we want to do is make use of these slider values to see if we're in a good condition. And if we're not, then we need to color it appropriately. So what does that wind up looking like? Well, kind of like we did in the last video, I'm going to write a function to determine our situation. And so in this function, we are going to check safety. And this function, in turn, will need two inputs. One input will be the angle, and the other input will be the weight. So we're going to have the angle, and we're going to have the weight, like so. And then what will happen is, see, these sliders will simply call that function. So I want to call check safety with angle is the value for my angle slider, and weight is whatever the current value is from the weight slider. We can't just grab the angle slider value directly, because when the value changes, this variable most reliably contains that updated value. So then we will also call check safety down here, and now the weight will be the value, and we will get the value from angle slider as well. Oh, no, and you go there. All right, you go there, you go there. All right, so when we're checking the safety, we have another chance to use the if block. You really see this popping up an awful lot. So we're going to use an if else. And what we're going to say is that if both the angle is safe and the weight is safe, then we get to color it green. And so I'm going to use an and block to make sure both things are true. And so we need to make sure that both the angle is good and that the weight is good. So to this end, I'm going to grab my variables, which are angle and weight. So these are the inputs that have been passed into my function. Angle will go there, and weight will go there. And then I'm going to give them some concrete numbers. So if my angle is less than 20 degrees, and if my weight is less than 17,000 pounds, not 170,000, but 17,000, then we get to color our background green. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to set the background color to green. And otherwise, I'm going to set the background color to red to indicate that things are not good, that we have violated our safety protocol. So I am now ready to try out my app. So I'm going to go onto my phone. I'm going to start up the Thunkable live tester. It's going to take its little time. Okay. And so this is safety check. And I click on it. And oh, I never updated my labels. The little sliders were great. But I never updated the labels to report the values. So why don't I go ahead and fix that up now. So I want to set the text of the angle label to be the value coming off of the angle slider. And if I want, I can even add some units to that, right? So what I can do is use join to join the value with the text like degrees. And I have value degrees, like so. And then for the weight slider, no, weight label, set the text in a similar fashion. I'm going to use join again. And here, and this value, go away, 2 pounds. Cool. So now if I go back to my app and I start sliding the slider, I get like 10,000, 15,000 pounds, 17,000, and bam, it's red. And similarly with the angle, 17, 18, 19, 20 degrees, and bam, it's red. And I didn't have a space between the value and that, so I'm going to just put a little space character at the start of each of these words. And so now I start sliding, and yeah, it looks a lot better. And so this is an example of an app that checks 2 different numerical quantities to see if they're in safety bound. And only if they're both okay does it flag that things are safe. So you can use this idea for lots and lots of different applications.